She couldn't force people to write the stories that she wanted them to write, so therefore she left to get privacy.
January 2026 kicked off with online chaos after new yacht photos surfaced. Images Meghan Markle allegedly believed were locked away forever. These aren't old, recycled shots people have argued over for years. This is fresh material, never seen before, and it instantly sent the internet into meltdown mode. What makes this hit harder is what the photos seem to show. Meghan appears in ultra-exclusive, private settings she has never publicly addressed, and now voices linked to Middle Eastern high society circles are speaking louder than ever.
Where do you go from here? What do you become after this? You get the picture. Now, this is the reason why many people understand the marriage, shall we say, has hit one of those rock.
They claim these images match what they've quietly known for years about her early networking days before her major public roles. According to multiple sources connected to elite golf circles, Meghan wasn't just attending random social gatherings. They suggest she was carefully building relationships in Monaco and across the Mediterranean, moving in spaces usually reserved for extreme wealth and influence. These weren't casual trips or open parties anyone could walk into. The leaked photos appear to place Meghan at private yacht gatherings, alongside highly influential figures from Saudi Arabia and other wealthy nations. The scenes suggest strategic social positioning, not coincidence, and not something easily brushed aside. What's wild is how little public attention these connections received until now.
I knew that you wanted to go back to LA and that Canada was always going to be a pit stop. From the very beginning, this woman orchestrated leaving the royal family because all she's ever wanted in her life was to be an A-lister in Hollywood. She did not have the talent to become an A-lister in Hollywood. She was relegated to a D-list actress spot on a show called Suits that nobody in America had seen, but apparently, which Prince Harry liked.
The timing is raising eyebrows everywhere. As Meghan pushes a polished rebrand through Netflix projects and lifestyle ventures, this material suddenly resurfaces. Prince Harry is now said to be questioning who released these images and what else might still be sitting behind closed doors. Because if this much surfaced all at once, many believe more could still be waiting quietly in the background. Once the photos hit social platforms, everything escalated fast. These weren't the old yacht discussions people brushed aside years ago. The images reportedly came from private collections kept out of sight until someone chose to make them public. And once that happened, there was no slowing it down. The rollout felt intentional, not accidental. The photos place Meghan in Monaco and across Mediterranean hotspots during her early years, surrounded by extreme luxury, private yachts, designer settings, flowing champagne, and recognizable faces from global business circles filled the background. Within hours, social media exploded. TikTok creators jumped into frame-by-frame breakdowns, while Twitter users connected details at lightning speed. What sets these images apart is the clarity. These aren't fuzzy guesses or unclear figures.
Meghan likes to be number one. Meghan does not simply degrade Prince Harry. She degrades his entire family, his entire legacy. And this is a different kind of embarrassment. She has mocked his heritage, his traditions, his grandmother, the former Queen of England, and it seems like she did so.
People say the photos show Meghan in environments she's never openly discussed, raising sharper questions about access, lifestyle, and influence. The conversation has shifted from vague curiosity to direct questions about how those doors opened and why these connections stayed quiet for so long. According to these sources, Meghan wasn't just showing up at yacht gatherings for fun. They suggest she was part of a structured social networking circuit, one focused on proximity, influence, and carefully managed access at the highest levels. This is a world where relationships are built quietly, behind closed doors, among people who understand how elite spaces really work.
The thing is, there have been lots of scandals which have never come out, I'm told, and the palace have been able to shut them down. So I think the belief is that they can shut these scandals down, and it's only when the scandals emerge that they have to put Plan B into practice. So, and I think if that's the case, then that could be very damaging if that's around.
One individual familiar with these environments explained it clearly. These circles revolve around polished appearances, curated company at high-end events, controlled travel, and strict discretion about who's present and why. This isn't casual socializing, it's intentional relationship building at a very high level. During Meghan's early acting years, sources say her presence matched that profile closely. Relatively unknown, ambitious, and suddenly appearing in ultra-exclusive international settings, far beyond what most people would expect. Insiders stress that access like this doesn't just happen on its own.
She did that on her own. Show me royals who have this kind of photo. What? See, the thing is, Meghan, if you need to Photoshop pictures, but then you get mad at your haters because we're calling out your Photoshopped pictures.
People within those circles say introductions are always arranged. Someone opens the door, someone vouches, and someone decides you fit the space. And according to insiders, Meghan's involvement wasn't random or accidental. Sources now claim the images came from someone inside those elite circles, someone with direct access, documentation, and first-hand awareness of who Meghan interacted with and how those connections formed. If that's accurate, it shifts the conversation fast, because people are now wondering what else might still be quietly held back. What other records or details exist about how her path into influence actually developed?
Meghan Markle, I think she was 35 or 30 when she came into the royal family. She'd had a life, she was an actress, she'd been married before, so she was pretty much clued up. And I think what's happened is she's come into the royal family and this archaic system has tried to control her and say, you will do this, you will do that, you will not go here.
Behind closed doors, discussions in elite international spaces are said to be far more specific than public chatter. The photos place Meghan at private events, where Saudi and Gulf region figures were reportedly present at the same locations and gatherings, the same yachts, the same settings, not random overlap and not coincidence. The same facilitators, often linked to arranging exclusive introductions between global power players, appear repeatedly.
Of coming back to this country, and quite rightly, because the people of this country don't like the fact that she's stolen our prince. And she's literally brainwashed him, blinkered him, and tied him down to his Californian man.
These environments are tightly controlled. You don't just wander into private yacht gatherings filled with international royalty and billionaires. You're invited, selected, and vouched for because someone believes you belong in that space for a reason.
This is really bad security. This is all in a desperate bid for headlines and for Harry to say, oh, see, we need security even in the U.S. This is disgusting and they should be investigated.
Yes, sir.
I mean, it's incredible how desperate Meghan Markle is to be compared to Princess Diana in a desperate bid to chase headlines.
What stands out most in the circulating images is how comfortable Meghan appears. Not awkward or out of place, but at ease, like someone familiar with the expectations and unspoken rules of those settings. Sources now say during her yacht years, she formed ongoing networking relationships tied to Saudi and Gulf elite circles. Yet these images place Meghan aboard luxury yachts in Monaco and across the Mediterranean, locations long known for hosting global business leaders and high net worth figures. New photos dated around 2010 show her attending multiple yacht events during the same period, often within the same tightly closed social circles. The same locations, the same facilitators, and the same exclusive environments appear again and again. That alignment is exactly why these images keep raising questions that refuse to fade.
Money and car, and helping her get auditions. And I mean, what do you think? I mean, does it really just the money or do you think it's fame?
Well, I mean, it's both, because if you think about it, you're not making that much on Deal or No Deal, right? But it was a national television show. It was on NBC. It was a network. You're there.
Then 2011 arrives and Meghan lands Suits, which is where many observers really start side-eyeing the timeline. The role didn't appear to follow the usual Hollywood grind of endless auditions and casting routes. Industry watchers have long said the connections behind that opportunity were never clearly explained, and now these photos make that gap stand out even more.
Meghan is a trained actress. What she does is that she studies people. She's not a good actress, but she is a trained one, right? She's been doing it her entire life. And there is no doubt that she studied Princess Diana. She studied her mannerisms towards Harry when he was a boy and the way that she grabs her face. And this is the psychopathic elements of what she does, putting a pregnancy text next to Princess Diana's hair, saying that she put her hands on the grave to have a conversation with her, bursting in.
What do the images seem to suggest? Years of quiet, intentional networking with people connected to influence, people positioned to open doors and shape opportunities behind the scenes. Career leaps like that don't usually happen in isolation. Fast forward to 2016 when Meghan meets Harry through Marcus Anderson and Soho House, and suddenly the timeline feels more connected. By then, she had already spent years moving inside elite spaces. She wasn't new to influence or high-level environments. The newly surfaced photos highlight a visible pattern: multiple yachts, multiple years, and recurring international figures. That's not random, that's consistency. They waited until Meghan likely believed her yacht-era connections were far behind her, a closed chapter with no proof left to resurface. Then suddenly, new photos nobody had seen before appeared online, and the timing alone sent a clear signal. This doesn't feel accidental. It feels deliberate, like a calculated reminder that more information exists without anyone needing to say it out loud. Many observers believe someone from within elite international circles grew frustrated with the public version of events, frustrated watching timelines get reshaped while they remember exactly how those relationships were formed. Speculation is spreading fast. Some think it could be someone she crossed paths with. Others believe it may be someone trying to keep influential families away from unwanted attention. Some say it's simply about accuracy over image. Whatever the motive, the release looks planned, not spontaneous. If new yacht photos are surfacing now, in January 2026, long after Meghan left that scene, it suggests someone held on to material and waited patiently for the moment it would matter most. That alone has people talking non-stop. For years, Meghan kept that period of her life quiet, often dismissing questions and framing criticism as unfounded. But photos from private collections shifted the conversation fast. They place her exactly where sources claim she was, doing what they described. And so far, her response has been silence. No explanations, no added context, and no public statement addressing what the images show. Just silence. As the images spread across every major platform, that quiet response stands out even more. Many observers feel it signals a hope that attention will fade, questions will slow, and the photos will quietly disappear without requiring detailed explanation. If these newly surfaced images were simple or easily clarified, many believe her team would already be providing context. They could explain who invited her, why she was there, or how the settings fit into professional social networking. Instead, there's been no clarification at all, and that absence is being noticed. The lack of response has led people to one conclusion. These yacht photos raise questions Meghan does not want to address publicly, especially about social connections she has never openly discussed. Looking at the facts alone, the situation is striking. New images surfaced in January 2026, showing Meghan in elite international settings during her early acting years. That alone sparks curiosity. One major question being asked is how that lifestyle was supported. Mediterranean yacht events linked to global figures are not easily accessible, and participation usually involves significant resources. Another question centers on access. These environments are highly selective, and entry typically requires introductions and trust. People are also asking what those relationships actually involved. The images show private yachts and small invitation-only gatherings, not casual public events. Observers wonder how involved those connections were and how long they lasted. Then comes the career timeline question. Her move from early acting struggles to landing suits, followed later by introductions through Soho House, now appears more connected when viewed alongside years spent in elite circles. These are real questions sparked by newly surfaced material, and Meghan's continued silence is keeping those questions active. Now, attention is turning to why the timing of these releases matters so much. Meghan is currently in the middle of a major public reset with streaming projects, lifestyle ventures, and a clear effort to move beyond royal headlines and present herself as relatable and inspiring. Then suddenly, new images appear, highlighting past yacht-era social activity within elite international circles. The material points to relationship building with significant wealth and influence, a chapter she has never publicly detailed. That contrast is what's driving discussion. People are asking how this aligns with the public image now being presented. How does it fit with a narrative built around authenticity and personal effort alone? The images have prompted debate because they suggest her rise involved more than determination, highlighting years of strategic networking in exclusive spaces. All of this shows just how fragile Meghan's public narrative has been. One new release is enough to reopen a chapter she chose not to address openly. And once images like these are out, they don't simply fade away. Each one adds context to a part of her history that stayed quiet for years. What really stands out is the international angle. Elite circles connected to Middle Eastern royalty and Gulf region power figures are known for extreme discretion. Privacy is the rule, not the exception, and everyone inside those spaces understands it. So if new photos are now surfacing, something clearly shifted. If sources are suddenly more willing to discuss her networking history within these circles, that usual layer of protection appears to be gone. That alone is raising eyebrows everywhere. It suggests silence was broken for a reason. Maybe her public storytelling started clashing with details others know privately. Maybe her visibility grew too large. Or maybe shielding this chapter simply stopped feeling worth it. Whatever the reason, if insiders are letting this material come out, it signals a major change. Once discretion disappears, it doesn't come back easily, and that creates serious pressure. People are now asking what else might exist. More photos, travel records, invitations, first-hand accounts from people who were actually there. Many believe these leaks could be just the beginning. Whoever shared this material may be testing reactions, watching responses, and deciding what comes next. That alone keeps the conversation alive. Right now, Meghan's options look limited. Staying silent lets questions keep piling up. Speaking out could invite deeper scrutiny into details she's never publicly addressed. Either way, the narrative becomes harder to manage. Her rebrand faces real resistance because these images challenge the story she's been presenting. Fresh material shows there's a full networking chapter that hasn't been openly discussed, and now her image is being examined from angles she can't fully control. The biggest question left is simple but heavy. Does more come out, or does this stop here? Because these images already cracked open a door she likely wanted sealed shut. Released in January 2026 by someone with clear access and insight, suggests the silence is over. And so far, her response remains the same. No explanations, no added context, just waiting as the questions spread. Now, I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this breakdown gave you a new perspective, make sure to like the video, subscribe for more deep dives, and share this with someone who needs to see it. I'll see you on the next one.